Hello friends, welcome back to another studio vlog. If this is your first time here, my name's Heather. I'm the owner of Charming Chapters, which is a small bookish business located in North Dakota. And this week we are getting ready for our end of summer sale. We are gonna be having a sale this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we've got lots to do to get ready for it. We need to count inventory, we need to restock some items, we need to make a few things. So it's gonna be another busy week. If the lighting's a little bit weird today, we are supposed to have thunderstorms off and on all day. I actually just talked to my mom and brother, who are about 3 hours southwest of us, and my brother said they had hail in town, and my mom, they live just south of town, and they were saying it was so dark, it was like it was nighttime. So that storm is headed for us, so fingers crossed we don't have any damage or anything. We actually had a pretty nasty storm come through over the weekend too. Luckily we didn't have hardly any damage. We had a few small tree branches, looks like some siding came just a little bit loose that we need to get attached, but overall we were pretty lucky. Just south of us a couple miles, my husband uncle lives on a farm, and one of their semi-trailers tipped over. They lost a bunch of big trees, so thankfully we didn't have any damage. My dad, who lives about 3 hours southwest of us also, he had the same storm come through down there, and he lost a bunch of big trees and stuff. So thankfully we are okay, but we know a lot of people who did have a lot of damage. So, but fingers crossed the weather will stay good today. But we are gonna kick this morning off with a couple orders that came in over the weekend. It looks like we have one book sleeve to sew, and then just a couple things to pack up. I don't know if we'll get them over to the post office today, just with the weird weather. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. And if not, we'll take them over first thing tomorrow when the post office opens. So, but let's get started on that book sleeve, and then we'll move on to our other projects. So right as I got everything out, ready to cut fabric, it got super dark and started pouring. So we're gonna have to work with the lights on today. I know normally we have that bright, beautiful sunshine lighting up the studio, but if there's shadows and stuff today, it's because we gotta work with the lights on. All right, now we've got those orders packed up for Evelyn and Danielle. Sorry that the lighting wasn't the greatest for packing those up. With this kind of lighting, there wasn't enough light in the corner to just pack them without light. With the overhead light, there was casting shadows, so I ended up just using my little ring light just to get those packed for you guys so we can get those hopefully in the mail today. Post office opens in about 15 minutes. So far the weather's holding up, but it's moving really fast. So we'll see if we can get those over to the post office for you guys today. It's open from 1 to 3. If this is your first time watching our studio vlog, we live out in the country on a farm, but about 4 miles south of us, there's a little town and it has this tiny little post office that's only open for 2 hours a day. So we have a really narrow window to try and get things mailed out if we run to that post office. So we don't have any plans as of right now to go to Minot the next couple days, so we'll have to run to that small post office. So fingers crossed the weather will hold up so we can get those orders over today. But in the meantime, we are going to start working on Oops Scoops. We did those for our sale earlier this year. It was actually our Easter sale. So what Oops Scoops are, they are, oh, the printer's talking. So we take these little, let me grab a tag here. So we take these little, I can't see here, this one says bookmark, but these little tabs, we fold them in half. We put them in Easter eggs earlier this year. This time around, we are gonna be using these little spheres that I found. They are like a hot pink color. So we're gonna use these little spheres here and just put the little tag inside and then basically scoop, and you guys get mystery items. But they're called Oops Scoops because they'll contain, because they're gonna contain seconds items, which are items that are slightly flawed, were damaged during shipping, had a little misprint. So they're just like discounted items basically. And it's a fun way to still use products that aren't terrible, you know, they're in usable condition still. So just a fun little thing we started doing this year, and you guys really seem to like it when we did it earlier this year. So we're gonna bring those back. But what we need to do is put all of the little tabs inside of the new spheres instead of the Easter eggs. And I also printed out a few more labels for just regular vinyl stickers. So we're gonna work on that here and keep an eye on the weather, and then we'll see what else we get done today. So I'll give you a little demonstration on how the Oops Scoops work. So if they pick 5 in the scoop, then we would scoop out 5 of these, and then each one gets opened. And then inside, this one has an ornament, so they would get an acrylic ornament. So there's a whole bunch of different things in here. There's bookmarks, acrylic bookmarks, stickers, ornaments, all kinds of fun different things. All right, so we actually just got back from the post office. So Evelyn and Danielle, your orders are officially on the way. Next up, we are gonna work on cutting some bookmarks that we need to restock. So what I do is I order them on a sheet with 2. It cost-wise, it works out a little better and saves paper. So we're gonna cut them in half, and then after that, we're gonna round the corners, and then we'll get them added to inventory. Are officially finished and added to inventory. So next up, we are going to go through a bunch of that fabric that we cut the other day. It's actually early last week, and we're gonna try and match everything up, and what we have we're gonna get added to inventory, and then if we have time we're gonna work on cutting more fabric to get all the book sleeves restocked that we need to get added to inventory before Friday. So let's match things up and see what we have. friends, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back in the studio. We have a boatload of fabric we need to cut for book sleeves to restock, so we'll be working on that most of tomorrow. And if we have time, we'll probably start on inventory too. We just need to count everything, make sure everything's correct on Etsy and the website in time for the sale. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow when we're back at it. Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning. I've got the windows open. You can probably hear the birds chirping. Luna is on bird watch. She loves looking out the window and looking at the birds, so might see her running around today. For the most part today, we're going to be working on cutting fabric for all of those book sleeves that we need to restock. We've got a big old stack that we didn't get to last week, so that's going to be today's project. That way we can get those restocked in time for the sale. Luna just found her toy. And then I also need to order some fabric too, so once we get all of these added to inventory, then I'll be able to find out what we're missing and what we need to order in. So that's going to be today's project for the most part. If we have time, we're going to start on inventory a little bit too. If we don't get to that today, we're definitely will be working on that tomorrow. So that is today's project. Before the sale, we also need to get an email newsletter ready to go. I'm holding off on that because I want to do a giveaway this week on Instagram. I think we're going to give away a blind date with a book. Luna picks the noisiest toy. Anyways, I think we're going to give away a blind date with a book of your choice. So I think that'll be really fun. Just kind of a way to get a little bit of engagement on Instagram. I might even post that in some of the groups too, like on Facebook and different things. So Luna, hang on a second. Squeaky toys, love them and hate them at the same time. She always finds those when I need to record. Anyways, we're gonna work on fabric for a while here. I'm just gonna put on a movie or something in the background, so you might see me looking up at the laptop here, but we're gonna get all these sleeves cut and added to inventory, and then we'll see what we have for time left for the day, and then we'll just go from there. Time for a little update. It is about 3:30 now, and I am finally done cutting fabric. Don't mind the wardrobe change. It got a little warm. I had to put on something that had shorter sleeves, so I am officially done with fabric though, and here we are. That's a boatload of fabric. So next I'm going to work on getting everything added to Etsy and the website. All of this needs to be steamed and ironed too. We'll probably do that later this week. I want to get everything done that we need to do for prepping for the big sale. And ironing the fabric, we can probably do this Friday once the sale actually goes live. So I'm just going to work on getting everything added to inventory now, and then I'll probably have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to make up the giveaway post that's going to go live tomorrow, and then probably start on an email newsletter that needs to go out too. So that's going to be it for filming today. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow. We are going to sew up a couple new book sleeves. I had some fabric come in that are some prints that we haven't had before, and there is one that we had quite a few years ago, but everybody really liked it, so I decided to bring that one back too. So we'll probably sew those up tomorrow, and then we're going to work on inventory and just keep on plugging away, getting stuff ready for the sale. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. It is another beautiful morning. The sun just came out, which is perfect because it's a little bit chilly before then. So we're going to enjoy the weather again today. We've got the windows open. You might see the curtains blowing in the breeze, but it's going to be another gorgeous day. Unfortunately, it means my allergies have kicked up again today. So if I'm a little stuffy, you know why. It's just the allergies again. But today we have, it looks like one order came in overnight. We've got a book sleeve to sew for that. So we'll get that done and get that packed up. And then we also have 3 book sleeves for new designs that I want to try and get in the shop before the sale starts Friday. Hopefully we'll have time to get them done. It won't take much to sew them, but then I need to set up the lighting kit and take some photos and stuff. So if we have time, we're gonna get those added to the shop in time for Wednesday. Let's see, what else do we have to do today? I've got my to-do list down here. I've got the post ready to go for the giveaway. That's gonna go live a little bit later here. We also need to make up an email that's gonna go out Friday just to, hey, our sale starts today. It's gonna have information for the giveaway and then a few other things in it too. And then also wanna try and get an email ready to go for Sunday, just a reminder that it's the last day of the sale in case anybody forgot and doesn't wanna miss out on things. We also need to get some new blind date with a book added to the website. They're all wrapped, ready to go. We just need to get them added to the website. Unfortunately, those can't go on Etsy. Etsy's policies are that you can't have any mystery items. So they'll be just on the website. So also will be the mystery grab bags as well as the Oops Scoops. So those 3 mystery items won't be able to go on Etsy, but we'll have them on the website. We also need to do inventory, so we need to count some items that are seconds. We've got a few new items since our last sale, so we're gonna go through, count those. And then, and we also need to get our discounts scheduled for the sale. That's kind of important. So with Etsy and the website, I'll have to go and get the discounts scheduled, and different things will be with different prices and all that. So we need to get that done. I also need to update the mystery grab bag listings. It's been a little while since we had those, so it'll be fun to have them back. And this time I think we're gonna do themed grab bags too. So there's gonna be like a pet lover, so that'll have cats and dogs. We'll have fantasy. What was the other one I was wanting to do? I don't know, I've got early morning brain. But anyways, they're gonna be themed grab bags this time, which I think will be really fun. We also need to update the listing for the Oops Scoops on the website. You just need to go in and update the photos on there. Last time we did Easter eggs for the little capsules, so I've got some new photos showing those pink capsules. And what else do I have on my list? My tripod sitting on top of the list here. Oh, and then I need to make some reels for this weekend too. So I want to do a reel showing how the Oops Scoops work, one talking about the mystery grab bags, one for the sale, obviously. So we're gonna work on getting all that done too. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy next couple days. We've got a lot to do. Like I said, we're gonna start with the book sleeve for the order, as well as those 3 book sleeves, get all those sewn and done. And then we'll move on to one of the next things on the to-do list. I had to show you a little Luna here. She wanted to hang out, but she's cold, so brought her little bed and blanket in so she can hang out with us today while we're working. And of course the window's open, so she's loving the fresh air and listening to all the birds. So she's gonna be our supervisor for the day. I realized I hadn't shown you the new book sleeves that are going to be coming. This one we had sewn up a couple weeks ago. Just haven't had time to get it added to the website. This was actually a tumbler design that I made earlier this year for our Valentine collection, but I thought it would be super cute as a book sleeve too. So we're going to have that one. And actually we have a matching bookmark now that I think about it. And then these 2 are going to be brand new. Don't mind the wrinkles. We need to iron those yet. I just saw the fabric and loved it, so I thought these would be really fun for our fantasy lovers. And then this one we actually had a couple years ago and everybody really liked it, so I decided to bring it back. This one's going to have a bright yellow inside lining, which is kind of fun. I normally don't do a whole lot with yellow, but that has been a fan favorite. So those are going to be the new ones and returning. That'll be coming to the website. So these 3 we're going to sew up today, along with a pink library card sleeve for an order. All right, so sleeves are done. We're gonna pack up the order real quick, but first I wanna show you how the other sleeves turned out. All right, so here's our celestial dragons. And those super pretty. It's got really dark shades of blue, some stars in there. And that one has a black inside lining just to bring out some of the details. And then here's our other dragon one. I thought this one turned out super cute. It's got a really cool pattern in the background too. Just very, very faint. And then that one has the black inside lining too. And then our floral. I just love the colors on this one. And with the yellow. And then of course our one for the order. So we're gonna get this packed up real quick and run it over to the post office. From the post office, so we are going to start on inventory. I think first we're going to start with counting the seconds charms. I know you guys really like those. Sorry, I've got kind of a glare in my glasses here. I know you guys really like those, just kind of get a deal on them. So we're going to count those, make sure those are good to go. It's been a little while since we had our sale and I don't post the seconds items all the time. So we're just going to check those real quick. Everything else should be good for charms, like regular charms. And then we're also going to go through seconds, bookmarks, and stationery, and we'll see what else. There's just a few things we're going to go through. Like I said, it's just items that haven't been on the website since our last sale, so I just want to make sure everything was up to date, after going through our last sale. So we're going to start with the charms, and then we'll go through a few other things. Inventory is now done, so we can check that off our to-do list. There's just a couple things that didn't match up, so it was a good thing we went through and counted all that. We've got a little bit of time yet. We've got a couple hours here, so I think we are going to take pictures of those new book sleeves that we sewed today, and that way we can get those added to the website. After that, it looks like on our to-do list, it's mostly going to be admin stuff, so we'll see how much of that we can get done today too. But we'll start with those pictures and move on from there. So I'm setting up my lighting kit here and I realize I am missing a piece. About a month ago, whenever the last time we took photos, that must have been right before the summer collection. Oh, Luna's jumping on my leg here. Last time I took photos, one of my lighting kits was falling apart, so I luckily had a spare set on hand, just knowing that I was going to need extra pieces eventually. And so here, let me flip you around and show you. So this is the piece that I had to replace. The corners were coming apart just from continuous use, and this piece here had broke too. I couldn't rotate this anymore. You're able to rotate them up and down just to adjust for lighting, but I'm missing this piece on that one that I just replaced, and that is the part that actually holds it on the stand. So I kind of jimmy rigged something, and hopefully it'll hold enough to get us through photos. It's kind of a hot mess. I can't rotate it or anything like that. My husband's gonna try and look for a piece when he gets done with work tonight. I ran over and asked him if they had anything, and he couldn't think of anything off the top of his head, and I don't know if that piece is even called to order, something like that. So I don't know, we'll see if we can find a piece. But we're gonna take photos real quick, and fingers crossed that the lighting kit holds up and that it doesn't fall apart. Oh, and in the process of that, I cut my finger too. That was great. I was digging through looking for a piece that we could use and ended up cutting my finger. So if you see a band-aid in photos, it's because I did an oopsie. So a cool trick for photos, if you're having troubles, and especially with like cool tone items, when you're going to take the photo, if everything has like this really warm red orange kind of vibe to it, a cool trick, if you take a piece of paper and hold it, you'll notice your camera adjust the colors, and then get everything lined up for your photo. And as soon as you're ready to snap that photo, take that paper away and your camera will capture that cool tone versus without this, reading that warm tone. So just a cool little trick if you need to take some photos. All right, friends, that's going to be it for today. It's about 4:30 now, so I'm just going to work on putting things away, getting everything cleaned up, and then by the time that's all done, it'll be time to call it quits for the day. Tomorrow's probably going to be a pretty admin-heavy day. I need to do a bunch of behind-the-scenes work, so I'm not quite sure how much I'll record for you tomorrow, being it's going to be all on the computer. But in case I don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you on Friday when we are getting ready for the big sale, and we'll just talk to you whenever we see you again. Hello friends, long time no see. It is actually about 4 o'clock on Friday. Yesterday I spent all day doing computer work. I had to get some seconds items added to the website that weren't on there. I had to go through and combine some listings for stationery and bookmarks that I wanted to sell as a set. If you buy the certain items as a set, then you can get a discount. So I went through and did that. And it was just a lot of work yesterday. I was up and started at 8 o'clock and worked until about 9:30 last night. And then this morning I worked on last week's studio vlog. So that is officially live on YouTube. And then I had to get an email newsletter together, and that had quite a bit of information in it. So that took a while. And then as you can see behind me, I was working on some content for Instagram and TikTok. So I was filming a bunch of stuff for reels and videos and all that fun stuff. So it has been a busy couple of days, and I just haven't been able to film anything for you guys. So we might work on pulling a couple orders right now. My husband and I are actually heading into town tonight. We're gonna go have dinner with my dad and his girlfriend because they're in town. So we might work on pulling things for orders tonight, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna head back into town. We are gonna go check out the local farmers market like we always do on Saturdays. And then my dad is actually set up for an outdoor flea market tomorrow, so we're gonna go check that out for a little bit. And then when we get back home, I'm gonna try and work on packing some of your orders and doing all the oops scoops and all that fun stuff. So like I said, tonight I'm just gonna work on pulling a few things before we go. We have less than an hour till my husband gets off here, so just work on getting things together. And I might print some shipping labels and stuff, just get everything ready to go. And then we're actually heading back into town on Sunday. It's my, yesterday it was my father-in-law's birthday, but on Sunday we're gonna have a little birthday party for him that evening. So when I head back into town that day, then I'll take whatever orders I have ready to go and drop them off then. And I might even pack a few more that evening, we'll see, because I have to go back into town on Monday. I've got a chiropractor appointment, so we'll be starting a little bit later that day. But anyways, I'm gonna try and get as many orders out this weekend as I can for you guys, because I'll be going into town quite a few times over the next few days here. But I just wanted to hop on, kind of give you guys an update. I probably won't film much more tonight. Like I said, I only have a few minutes just to get a few things done. So we'll see you again sometime this weekend. I'm guessing it'll probably be tomorrow afternoon when we're back home. So we will see you guys then. Good morning, friends. It's actually now Sunday. It was a busy weekend for us. I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. My allergies are in full force today. But I did do a lot of filming yesterday. In the morning yesterday, we went to a local farmer's market and picked up a few vegetables that we weren't able to grow in our garden here. For some reason, our peas and green beans just weren't doing well, so we were able to find some local farmers that had those. And then I also found some fresh basil, which was really exciting. I tried out a new recipe last week using our carrot tops. I guess you can use them to make pesto. So it was a little bit too tart for what we like. So I was really excited to find that basil yesterday. So I'm gonna mix that in and try that out. But it's really cool to be able to use the full carrot, to make that pesto and stuff. So we did that at the farmer's market. And then after that, we went and checked out a outdoor flea market. My dad was actually set up out there. It was at a pioneer village. So they had older buildings that were set up as a museum and different things like that. And there was a car and tractor show, and it was a lot of fun. The weather was perfect for that. So we went and did that. Then we came home, mowed grass, weed whacked. That was a couple hour project. We were pretty tired after that. And then last night we ended up going out of town for a race. It was actually a memorial race for one of our family's friends' dad who had passed away a few years ago. So that was really fun. It was really, really good racing too. It got a little bit dusty at the end too, which I think is part of the reason why my allergies are flaring up today. But yeah, it was a great day yesterday, but unfortunately that meant I wasn't able to be in the office doing a whole lot. But today we are going to be packing lots of orders. You guys blew my mind with orders from our summer sale, and I can't thank you all enough. I'm so excited to pack everything for you. Being I didn't really film the last few days, it's going to be a lot of order packing today to finish out our video for the week. So I'm going to put on some music for you guys. You can just watch your orders being packed. Today we're going to try and get through all the orders that I can that don't have book sleeves that need to be sewn. For the book sleeves, we're going to start on those tomorrow, and those will be in next week's vlog. But there's quite a few orders that we should be able to pack today. There's quite a few oops scoops. I'm glad you guys are enjoying those. That'll be really fun to record for you. That way you can see everything being scooped and what you guys get. And by the time this video goes live, hopefully you'll have gotten your order, so there won't be any spoilers or anything in that. So I think it's gonna be really fun to record all that for you guys. You'll have to let me know what you think of it too. I want to try and do some fun different things for you guys to watch, and I think the oops scoops are gonna be kind of a fun thing that we haven't done yet. And let me know if you guys have any ideas for videos too. With the holidays coming up, I probably won't be able to do weekly videos, like recording and editing the same week like we've been doing the last couple months here. The holidays just get pretty busy. So if there's any videos that you guys want to see, let me know. Maybe it's sewing a book sleeve, or I don't know, making up a design, or just different things like that, where it wouldn't be quite so much in a week that I didn't need to film for you guys, where I can kind of plan ahead. We'll still do lots of order packing videos and all that too, but just with the holidays, I want to have some stuff ready to go for you guys. So there's still be weekly videos, just won't be quite so much recording throughout the week for all that, which leads to a lot of editing in the long run. But yeah, we're gonna work on packing orders, and we'll see how many we can get done. We're actually heading into town tonight, so we'll take as many of those to the post office tonight as we can. That way tomorrow morning when they open, all of your orders should be on the way. So we're gonna start just kind of pulling orders, going through things. I'm gonna get everything set up for the oops scoops, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, Future Heather here. I realized when I was recording later in the week that I never explained what is all in our mystery grab bags and the difference between those and oops scoops. So the oops scoops and the mystery grab bags were only available on our website during the sale. With Etsy's policies, they don't allow you to do any mystery packages. So obviously the mystery grab bags, the oops scoops, and then also a blind date with the books are only available on the website. And the mystery grab bags and oops scoops were only during the sale. Next time that those will be back will be for a holiday sale, which will be in November. But mystery grab bags just are what they sound. They're just a mixture of items, and this time we did themed grab bags. So we had an assorted pack, we had a seasonal pack, there was a romance reader, there was a fantasy, and a pet lovers. Sorry, you can hear Luda running around here. There's a few different varieties that you could choose from. So if you wanted a certain theme, you could do that, or you could just choose an assorted mystery pack. And then the oops scoops, those all had second items in them, or items that we had an abundance of, or were maybe discontinuing. So seconds items are items that came damaged when they were shipped, or they had slight flaws when they were printed, different things like that. But they're still in usable condition, just so we don't have to throw them away. They can still be used. They're still in a good quality condition, kind of like B grade is what a lot of shops will call them also. So the oops scoops were all seconds items. So those would be the little pink spheres that you see me scooping, and those are what they were. They get bookmarks, acrylic bookmarks, Kindle charms, stickers, ornaments. I feel like there was something else. Anyways, an assortment of items. So that is the difference between the mystery grab bags and the oops scoops. So I'm gonna put a little caption on the screen so you guys know which was which. Obviously you'll see me scooping the oops scoops, but if there's a themed mystery grab bag, you'll also see that on the orders. that's going to be it for today. We are going to get ready and head into town. My family's having a birthday party for my father-in-law today, and it's also my brother-in-law's birthday, so we're going to celebrate them all together. So we are going to get ready and head into town. I'm going to take the orders that we did get packed up today into the post office, and then we'll be back in the studio tomorrow. But that's going to be next week's studio vlog, so this will be the end of this week's video. If you liked everything this week, I hope you stick around and subscribe to the channel, and also give this video a thumbs up if you like the content this week. But that's going to be it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Technically, we're going to keep packing orders. We've got a bunch of book sleeves to sew, so it is going to be another busy week, and I hope you join us then. But that's it for today. Bye for now.